Welcome to the Theology in Progress podcast. Fortune cookies. Are they just a sweet treat to go with your Chinese food? Or are they theological conversation starters in disguise? We're about to find out.
Hey guys, I'm Chris.
And I'm Josh.
Welcome to the Theology in Progress podcast, where our goal is to grow in Christ through every conversation. We've got a really fun episode for you guys today. It's a little different, but bear with us. I think you'll really enjoy it because it's going to be fun.
I hope so. We're going to enjoy it. We've got these this plate full of fortune cookies here. And a little while ago, we were eating Chinese food and opened our fortune cookies, and we started having a theological conversation about the stuff that was in our fortune cookies.
Yep.
So we're going to open fortune cookies in front of you guys and read the fortunes and then talk about the theology that we can get from fortune cookies. And, I mean, if we want to get deep and serious, I mean, we can really analyze the cultural perspectives and worldviews that we find from all this.
This is literally the script for this episode, so who knows where this is going to go. So
this episode cost us $1.50.
$1.50. All right.
Okay, so
how do we want to do it?
Here's how this is going to go. One of us will take turns opening, and we'll read the fortune, and then the other person can respond with what they think the appropriate biblical response to that should be.
Okay.
So, you want to go first? You want me to?
I don't care.
All right.
Okay, you want to go?
I'll open it up.
So I have to respond.
You have to respond.
Okay.
And we have no idea what this is because, we're just now opening fortune cookies. All your hard work will soon pay off.
Nice. Man, you gotta love fortune cookies because, we all know that, it's kind of the whole charlatan's trick to just put something in there that's nice and easy and everybody likes to hear. So you can just say that to anybody and then they feel good because everybody feels like
even if they aren't working hard.
They've worked hard. Yeah, but they feel like they probably have or that they deserve something, So you have an entitled mentality. But, wow, that is actually very hard to read.
It is. It's like a typo almost.
Yeah. Your hard work will soon pay off. Oh, man.
It's a very general one.
It is a very general one.
It's kind of like American Dream-ish.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. As far as theology goes, I think we like to think that our American, like you're talking about the American Dream-ish, that the harder we work, then the more success that we'll have. And that seems to be indicated a lot in the Old Testament. So I don't know, maybe a Christian or I don't know. If you do this, I don't want to insult you. We've all probably done it at one point. But, I've seen people, maybe open a fortune cookie and then take a picture of it and say something like,
I needed this. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. Or, do you believe that God can speak through a fortune cookie and all that sort of stuff? And
coincidences happen. I'm not going to rule that out. God could even do that.
God could do that.
If he wanted to.
There's no doubt. We're not going to... I don't think anybody's going to say what God can or can't do here. But it's like I say, and I'm just as guilty of this, right? I want to hear an answer from God. If I'm looking for something, I really want a sign from God. I want to put the fleece out and I want to ask, and then I get my answer, and then I want to go back and do it again and again. And I really think that's a sign of my own spiritual immaturity. If I was more spiritual mature, I could hear God's voice, and then I would trust him when I know that I've heard him to just go ahead and do it and stop asking for signs.
I wonder if that's why Jesus said a wicked and perverse generation asks for a sign.
Ooh, maybe. Hey, go figure. The Bible talks about stuff. But I think opening fortune cookies and trying to find your life answers can also be just as, the exact same situation because, we all go through stuff and we're all dealing with stuff. And if you open this up and your hard work will soon pay off, you can pretty much apply that to any of your, almost any situation that you've got. So I would say don't put as much stock in this sort of stuff.
But if you do, your hard work will soon pay off.
Yeah, if you do, then you're good to go. So.
All right, what you got for me?
All right, let's see. Fortune cookie. There are riches headed your way.
Ah, prosperity gospel.
Boom. I'm excited about this one. That prosperity that I get to eat some fortune
You know,
cookies.
if you pair that with the last one, all your hard work will soon pay off. Riches are heading your way.
So we've been doing Theology in Progress for a couple of years now.
And the riches are not heading our way yet.
They haven't headed our yet, but we've been working hard. And now the riches are going to be coming. So if you're out there, this fortune is about you. Probably.
Okay, so if I wanted to take in and deal with the theology of this, there are riches headed your way. I guess the real question is, does that always apply to the Christian life? And I think the answer has to be no.
Yeah.
Especially based on what you see in Philippians 4, when Paul's saying, doesn't matter what situation of life we're in, I've learned to be content in every situation. Know what it's like to have a lot. Know what it's like to go hungry. But I can do all that because Jesus gives me the strength to do that and be content.
Yeah.
And this kind of goes back to the American dream thing again. We think that satisfaction and fulfillment comes from the riches that we get, or that if we just, I've thought this a ton of times because, if I just had just enough to knock down my student debt by like 75%, life would be so much easier. And that's, the more I am in this period of paying off my student debt, the more I'm realizing that even if somebody were to pay it off tomorrow, it may alleviate some financial stress, but it wouldn't help me grow. And so for the Christian, sure, it may be great to hear that riches are headed your way, but that's not where our hope lies, and that's not what defines us as Christians.
But what if somebody were to say riches don't just have to be money, but maybe riches in some other aspect of your life are headed your way, like
That's
in your relationships, or
that's being very generous for this fortune cookie.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. If we're defining riches in terms of,
I mean, because Paul struggled.
rich relationships,
Like you're talking about, he struggled to have things, but I know a lot of people would say, yeah, but he was probably rich with, God's grace then, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Rich with contentment and joy in that situation. I don't know. People say stuff like that.
Well, if we're talking about God's grace, the riches are not only headed our way, but they have already arrived. So it's in terms of God's grace, that's already here.
Okay.
If it's in terms of relationships, yeah, I guess that works. There are riches headed your way. In other words, you have satisfying relationships coming your way.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that you would have to do is engage in those relationships and make them happen.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Your turn. Let's do this one. Take the chance while you still have the choice.
Ooh.
Is this like a
Take the chance. Why? Okay.
get saved or burn?
Oh, that's interesting. I thought about it in a little bit different way of, because I'm going through a little bit of a time in my life where I'm looking for some direction and I'm praying and asking God to do some things. I would like him to take away. I'd like him to make that choice. I don't want to have to take the chance. I'd rather just have that choice be made for me. That's instantly what I thought anyway. But I don't know.
It's funny how perspective, little perspective like that can change the interpretation of a fortune.
Exactly. And, it's not like, it's almost like they're written for that reason, right? So that they can apply
Somebody's getting paid big money to be really vague in fortunes.
Yeah. All right. You want me to open another one for you?
Sure.
That's about all I care to say about that. Let's just open these up.
I guess we don't necessarily have to do all 12 of these or whatever, however many there are, but
Help, I'm being held hostage in a fortune cookie What? Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to go there. Come on, we're opening fortune cookies. We had to do it. Okay. This is a great one, actually. All your sorrows will vanish.
Oh, man.
Now, if that's not set up for this conversation, I don't know what
Oh,
it is.
man. All your sorrows will vanish.
That sounds like Jesus said that. I don't know that he did.
I don't think he did either.
No, I'm sure he said that somewhere. That's in 2 Corinthians.
Oh, yeah, no. Take my yoke upon you, for my yoke is easy, my burden is light. Your sorrows will soon vanish.
That's right. There you go.
forget that after that he said, "Take up your cross and follow me."
Hey, no. Yeah, that's no. All your sorrows were vanished. Come on, man. Let's keep it positive. Nobody wants to carry a cross around.
Okay, my first thought with this one is actually goes to unanswered prayers.
Mm.
So many times in the church we get up and say, "Man, I wish God would just heal me," or "I wish God would just save me from this issue that I'm facing, whatever I'm going through. I wish he would make this sorrow go away."
Yeah.
And yes, it would be great if God did that. It would seem great anyway. Mm-hmm. But as Christians, we're called to a life like Jesus. Mm-hmm. And he's promised us that in this world we're going to have troubles because we're following him. Mm-hmm. And if the world rejected him and caused him problems, it's going to reject us and cause us problems too. Now, that's not to say that getting sick or breaking a leg and being out of work for 3 weeks or 3 months or whatever is because of the world rejecting us, but it's still somewhat related because Jesus is talking about how different the kingdom of God is, and it's sitting in the middle of a sinful world. Mm-hmm. And that causes issues. The fact that we live in a sinful world means that we do get sick. Mm-hmm. We do have broken bones. We do have financial problems. Mm-hmm. We do have rejection and relationship issues and stuff like that. We do have sorrows. Mm-hmm. And throughout the Gospels, Jesus calls us to trust him through that. Mm-hmm. And recognize that that's what happens in the Christian life. And so when we talk about things like unanswered prayer, where somebody goes up and prays for years and years and years, trying to get healing from a certain issue or something like that, like maybe the woman who had the issue of blood for 12 years, sometimes it seems like God doesn't answer those prayers. And it's easy to say, "Man, I wish God would just take this sorrow away." But I've learned that even in the midst of really terrible life situations, that God is usually teaching me a lot about myself through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And he's teaching me a lot about who he is for me in the middle of my situations. So I've found it's much more beneficial for my spiritual growth to instead of asking God for deliverance from my sorrows, hoping that they'll all just go away, it's much more beneficial to ask, "God, what can I learn about you through this situation? What can you reveal about my remaining sinful nature that I can submit to you and make more like you?"
Yeah.
So for the Christian, I don't think it's all my sorrows will soon vanish. I think it's, in this world you will have troubles, but take heart. I've overcome the world.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
I like it. Sorrows will soon vanish. Well, soon is a relative term, but
soon they eventually will be.
They will be, right? When Christ returns.
Yeah.
And then that's when we're promised every,
Yeah. Here you go.
I'm losing it. I don't know.
You ready for this one?
Wait, do we need to take a break real quick?
All right, let's take a break. I've cracked this one open, but we will read it after the break.
Yep.
Imagine if you found a secret code for making money buried deep within the biblical texts. Well, too bad that doesn't exist. But we can save you money on books with ChristianBook.com. Enter through books.theologyinprogress.com, and a portion of your purchase will go to support Theology in Progress.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys.
We are on, we finished 2 rounds of fortune cookies.
2 rounds, yep.
Learned a lot of good theology from these fortune cookies. Man, I'm glad I went to Walmart. All right, Chris. You will be rewarded for your kindness to others.
Oh, man.
Now, this one actually sounds kind of Christian.
It does. I will be rewarded for my kindness to others. This is the golden rule, right? Do unto others, and they'll do it back to me. So we're good. I don't know. I mean, it's so funny because you read these fortune cookies, and it does, man. It just, all of these different images and things can just come into your mind. So I've got like 3 different places in Scripture that I feel like all converge, and maybe I can then turn it into something and say, oh yeah, that's really great. I'll be rewarded.
In heaven.
In heaven. Yeah, I suppose at best, or at last, you could say that. But I really don't know if we're always told that we're going to be rewarded for our kindness to others. And that calls into, in fact, I was having a conversation with somebody else earlier today about this issue. We are called to love our enemies. And we are called to be people of love as Christians. But we're not promised that we're going to be rewarded for that kindness. And Christians have the unique ability to actually be, I struggle with this, but to actually have the potential to be truly altruistic without any ulterior motives involved. Mm-hmm. Right? Unsaved people, I forget who said it, but this is what we were talking about, is that there's actually no good deed that's done selflessly. All good deeds are selfish good deeds, because I think at the very base, they make you feel really good about yourself. And this is actually going to get into next week's episode a little bit more of serving others, and I kind of want to flesh this out a little bit then. But I think we as Christians are actually called to serve others without expectation of reward whatsoever. Yeah. So I might give and give and give and give you something, and I might not ever get anything in return for it, because I need to serve you, because that's what God has called me to do. That's what you need. There could be a whole host of reasons. You're just purely my enemy, and I need to love and serve you. Mm-hmm. I don't really know if I'll be rewarded for that. Again, in this life. Now, we're told in the next life that we will be rewarded. So maybe fortune cookies should be,
They're eschatological.
Eschatological cookies.
Let's read back over all of them. All your hard work will soon pay off. Mm-hmm. It will in the end if we get to heaven.
That's true.
There are riches headed your way. I guess heaven's headed our way, and,
I suppose, yeah. I was about
riches.
to say, yep.
Take the chance while you still have the choice. I told you, that's the turn or burn.
Yep, that is. You're right.
All your sorrows will soon vanish. Yep.
That's true.
They will in heaven.
In heaven.
And
or at the resurrection.
You'll be rewarded for your kindness to others. Yeah, we talked about that.
Exactly.
Christians don't stay in heaven. That's a good post. It's actually our top post.
Yep. So that's good, man.
That's the answer. Yes.
All these
fortune cookies are just eschatological.
But that's interesting. Why are people? Now, I think we all know that fortune cookies aren't real, but there is still some sort of a bit of a glee that you get when you break it open and you want to read what your fortune is, and it gives you some sort of mental comfort just to hear a reassuring thought or phrase. And it really shows you something about the human condition and our mindsets of looking for hope in literally a cookie.
Yeah.
That we literally are looking for hope in our situations, because we understand that there's pain, that we work hard, that we have sorrows, that we are kind to others and we don't see a reward for it. That, we have chances that we should take, otherwise we may miss opportunities that we'll never get back again. There's all of this anxiety in our life that comes from these things. And the Christian message is there is hope. There is reward, and hard work will pay off in the end. And of course all of this is not because of us. It's nothing that we do.
Because of Jesus.
It's because of Jesus, exactly.
Yeah.
And we only are a byproduct of that. We work hard and do all these things and endure suffering and sorrows because of our following of Him.
Yeah.
So that's that. These are
good observation.
Maybe tapping into something a little bit bigger. All right, let's see here. I think this is a good one.
Feeling it?
I'm feeling it. Let's see. It makes you excited just to break open a fortune cookie. A cheerful letter or message is on its way to you. That's kind of a letdown one.
That is kind of a letdown one. You're not picking anymore, Chris.
I felt good about that one.
A cheerful letter or message is on its way to you. You know what? I'm just going to leave that one alone and say that kind of goes back to this whole, we have problems in the world and we're looking for hope.
That's good.
Because, there's not much of a worldview to this outside of that. Mm-hmm. It's just saying...
Maybe Apostle Paul's going to send you a letter.
That'd be great.
That'd be a little creepy, actually, but...
It would be really creepy if he came up like Samuel did in the Old Testament.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you disturbing me?
Well, just don't practice any witchcraft. I think you'd probably be all right.
Did you let yourself be circumcised?
Told you, this episode. All over the place.
Scripted by Fortune Cookies. All right, here you go.
Let's go.
That one's stuck. Soon you will be sitting on top of the world. This is like playing right into your power.
I've been meaning to make this PSA, and this is a great time now that it has officially been prophesied by the great cookie. Oh, man, I don't know. Either I'm the Antichrist now, or I suppose I'm getting ready to take an expedition to the North Pole. I don't know. But it is a sphere, so who's to say which place is the top? I don't know. I really don't know what to do with that one very much.
Talk about
I guess
how
maybe
that applies
success.
to your power and success, to your desire for
Yeah,
power and success.
I've come to the realization here recently that there's really nothing in this world that would ever satisfy my hunger for more. That's essentially it. Surprise, surprise. I am a very, I don't even want to say that because I think that's a cop-out. I was going to say I'm a typical person, but I think that's a cop-out because I forget who I heard even say this, but when you're identifying your weaknesses and you're being vulnerable, you try to pull in everybody else to make yourself feel less that, right?
Yeah.
And it's totally a true thing. So because I desire to sit on top of the world. There's no way around that. And again, we can maybe get into more of this in next week's episode, but I've had to come to the realization that everything that I do, and it's why we started Theology in Progress, is to serve other people. It's to serve you guys. And sure, I need to make a living and provide for my family and do all these things, and I have ambition, and I want to, go and be able to offer the world something that I think God has called me to. But that's really what I have to stay focused on, is what God has called me to, and not what I feel my ambition is calling me to. What I desire, which is the world, essentially, right? I mean, who wouldn't want to be the next Billy Graham or, something, fill in the blank, whoever your big hero is that you think is on top of the world. And
I want to be C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis, that's a great one. And I'm really wrestling with this and having to come to grips with whatever my lot in life is, I have to be okay with that as long as I'm in the center of God's will and that His Spirit is with me. Like Moses said, right? I'm not going there unless your Spirit is with me. And I have to pray the same thing and trust God that where I'm at right now and where I'm going, even though it's tough. Because if I wanted to sit on the top of the world, I can see it, I can plan it, I can put my destiny there, and then I can make a very detailed roadmap to get me there, right? That's what most of the success goal-setting seminars you'll hear. And it's really tempting to want to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's right there.
Yeah. But if God's called you to sit at the foot of the mountain and say, Jesus is that way.
Yeah. And I have to be willing and humble enough to do that. So, anyway.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Well, thanks for calling me out on that.
You're welcome.
Some good stuff. All right, let's get a better one for Josh now.
Okay, bring it.
All right, let's see here. Okay, we'll do... we want to make this one the last one? Or
let's do this
another
the last
round.
one.
Okay. Well, I don't want to do that one. That's similar to one we already did.
Pleasant surprises in store. Yeah, that's...
Come on, we're getting repeats here. Well, this is pretty close, but an unexpected event will bring you riches.
Nah, that's kind of like riches are headed your way.
All right, come on. Let's see what we got. Besides, I always get... You ever see that movie, The Monkey's Paw?
No.
It's a great movie about... it's like kind of like the whole genie and 3 wishes thing, but so you hold this monkey's paw, and you make a wish, and that wish will come through, but it always comes at an expense that you never expected. So the family, I think, wishes that they were like millionaires, but then their son dies, and they collect a huge sum from insurance. So that's what I'm always afraid of when you think about and wishing for riches and things. A pleasant surprise is in store for you.
Do we? Oh, we literally just got a full-on repeat within 2 cookies.
Full on.
That's awesome.
Okay, here we go. I think we can do this. We can work with this one. Your days will be filled with sunshine and happiness.
I just want to answer the same thing I did with all your sorrows will soon vanish.
I know. Well, sunshine. It was a cloudy day for most of the day today. So how are you saying that?
Your days will be filled with sunshine and happiness. Yeah, I think I'm going to say the same thing I did for sorrows on that one. Let's see if we get a better one.
All right, let's just open them and see what we get. You will spend old age in comfort and material wealth. It actually says material wealth. There you go.
Oh, man.
That's a very specific one right there.
That's like 2 fortunes in one. It's promising that you're going to get old. No, that's like 3 in one. You're going to get old, you're going to live to an old age, you're going to be comfortable, and you're going to have material wealth.
There you go.
I mean, that's
the jackpot of fortune cookies, right?
You need to keep this one and frame it or something. So that when you're old and living off of Social Security, you can call up the fortune cookie company and complain.
If you can dial with...
What are you talking about? I'm calling the government and saying that they need to increase my check. I got the fortune to prove it.
Okay, I want to hit on the old age thing.
Okay.
Because I find it interesting that I don't think Christians are ever generally, as a whole, promised long life. In fact,
not many of the disciples had long lives.
If you look at the disciples, there was only one of them that lived for a long time, and the rest of them were cut short.
And, tradition says that he survived being boiled in oil.
Which is not a good thing to survive.
I'm not sure if I want to survive that.
I mean, if that were to happen, just make me unconscious when you put me in there or something. I just don't want to even mess with it.
I mean, anyway, it's horrific. Just the most horrific.
Can you imagine the recovery from that?
No, I mean, I can't, especially in that day and age without... I mean, it really is just a miracle that anybody would survive that.
Goodness.
But much less the pain and recuperation and then severely scarred and disfigured.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Anyway, if we look at the example that we see from the people of the early church, especially when the church is under persecution, long life is not something that's promised us. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can make a case that Jesus says that we should expect long lives. Mm-hmm. Now you do see a few things in the Old Testament where, like I think it's in Psalm 91 where the writer says, with long life you will sustain me, or something like that. You find references like that every once in a while throughout Scripture, but I think the overwhelming understanding of life,
we're definitely not promised tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Is that, it's here today and tomorrow, who knows? Mm-hmm. That's why, I think what James says, I think it's in James chapter 4 or 5, where he says, instead of saying, tomorrow we're going to do this, this, and this, say, tomorrow, if the Lord wills it, we'll do this, this, and this. Yeah. Realizing that everything that we do, everything that we say, is all contingent upon God giving us our next breath. All of our hope is in Him for now and forever. Mm-hmm. So, we are not promised that we will spend old age in comfort and material wealth.
Yep.
So, were there any others that we left unopened just to see what
they were? I think there's one more. This one was a repeat of Soon You'll Sit on the Top of the World.
That's no fun. All right, last one. What do we got?
Let's do it.
Opportunity will soon knock. When it does, answer the door.
Answer the door. Well, that's pretty similar.
Revelation 3:20. I stand at the door and knock.
Boom.
If anyone hears my voice and will open the door, I'll come in and eat fortune cookies with him.
There we go. Fortune cookies in heaven confirmed. Hashtag fortune in heaven.
Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed us sitting here opening fortune cookies and talking about life and world perspectives, and we got a lot of fortune cookies to eat here.
Yes.
If you've liked this video and want to see more like it, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and like the video. Mm-hmm. Like us on Facebook, and we'll make sure that you stay up to date on everything that we put out.
Yep.
And you can also go to our website and subscribe there, and you'll get an email every time new content is released. You can go to www.theologyinprogress.com/subscribe.
And you can also go to theologyinprogress.com/donate if you would like to contribute and partner with us in providing videos and content like this. We've got a lot of stuff that we're planning, and we've released a lot of content already this year and excited about more to come. And like I said earlier in the podcast, we do this to serve you guys. And if you'd like to partner with us and help us serve others, we'd appreciate that. So thank you very much, guys. It's been fun. Love to do this. We're going to go eat some fortune cookies now. You guys have a great week.
Bye.
Make sure you're getting the latest updates about Theology in Progress by subscribing. Go to www.theologyinprogress.com/subscribe.